से रहमत खुदा करे तेरा सफर हो बाय।
An incredible sight in Bonn this afternoon as a Muslim spiritual leader arrived to begin a one-month national tour.
Thousands of GTA Muslims are excited about one of the most high-profile visits by a Muslim leader to Canada.
तुझको खुदा ने साये रहमत बना दिया मसरूर तुझ पे साये रहमत खुदा करे मुल्क में तुम्हारी हिफाजत खुदा करे हर मुल्क में तुम्हारी हिफाजत खुदा करे तेरा सफर हो बासे रहमत खुदा करे मुश्किल कोई बने ना किसी जा भी सद रहा मुश्किल
Coincides with the religion's 50th anniversary here in Canada.
Of their spiritual leader. As you can see, there are still thousands of people on the street and in the area hoping to catch a glimpse of their spiritual leader.
No matter which country, no matter which continent, the pull towards the Khalifa is magnetic. Wherever he goes, crowds of people flock towards Huzur. Like birds we flock to the beacon of Khilafat. These scenes are possibly most unique to Canada than they are anywhere else, with Peace Village having been developed right next to Beit al-Islam Mosque. A large neighborhood of approximately 260 homes, Peace Village was developed in 1999 and is home to a large number of families that belong to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Join us in this special series for the incredible journey of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, in Canada, and let us bring you closer to this North American country. It is late in the afternoon, and already people have started lining the streets. As the arrival of Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, is imminent, hundreds turn into thousands, creating a sea of well-wishers. As the time draws nearer to Huzur's arrival, several media outlets can be seen. Helicopters circle overhead, their vans park nearby, while camera crews record the remarkable scene. Finally, the moment arrives. Sirens are heard as the police motorcade enters Peace Village. Along with it is Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper, and the Qafla. Upon arrival at his residence in Peace Village, Huzur was welcomed by the Mayor of Vaughan, Honorable Maurizio Bevilacqua, Ontario's Minister of Transportation, Honorable Stephen Del Duca, and National Member of Parliament, Honorable Deborah Schultz. It was on October 5th, 2016 that Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmed, may Allah be his helper, was interviewed by Global News.
To better understand what's happening in the Middle East and the growing threat of radical extremism, then it's time to dispel a few myths. Myths like Islam being a monolithic religion. This month, the spiritual leader of millions of Muslims is visiting the GTA. The sect he represents is small in terms of Islam, but extremely active in outreach and full of missionary zeal, something that doesn't always go over well with fellow Muslims. Here's my conversation with the Caliph of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Welcome back to Canada.
Thank you.
What is your message in this visit to Canada, and what is it that you would like to hear from Prime Minister Trudeau when you meet him?
The message, nowadays the prevailing situation in the world is very critical because of disturbance in the Middle East, and as a result of that, the whole world is involved in it.
Is caution the same thing as inaction? You say to be cautious.
Yes.
Does that mean that Canada should not play?
She should play.
What role should our government play?
You see, they have to see that what is the right way, how to deal with it in a way that does not disturb either the local people, if it is a case of immigrants, or refugees. So if proper justice is done, so all the parties should be given their due right.
Thursday, October 6th, 2016, one day before the start of the 40th annual Jalsa Salana Canada, the Ontario legislature unanimously passed an act that declared October would now be recognized as Islamic Heritage Month. It began as an NDP private member's bill, and party leader Andrea Horwath hoped that it would be an opportunity to celebrate and learn about the history of Islamic culture. It also coincided with Huzur's trip to Canada.
I would like to draw to the presence of honorable members the presence in the gallery of His Holiness Mirza Masroor Ahmad, head of the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim community. This will conclude question period for today.
Hazrat Amirul Momineen was also shown the Centennial Flame. The Centennial Flame was initially lit on the eve of 1967 by former Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson. Occupying the forecourt of Parliament Hill, the flame is located within the center of the monument and burns natural gas, allowing it to burn through harsh Canadian winters. Later in the afternoon, Huzur met with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Pleasure to welcome His Holiness to Ottawa. The last time we met was a number of years ago, and I didn't yet occupy this office, but we had wonderful conversations, as we will this time, about the Ahmadi community and the challenges they face and the opportunities to work together on promoting love for all and hate for none.
Thank you. Thank you.
Prime Minister Trudeau thanked Huzur for visiting and discussed promoting peace and respect throughout the world.
So again, what a pleasure it is to welcome you, Your Holiness, to Ottawa. An opportunity to discuss the many challenges facing the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, but also the opportunities that we have to work together on shared goals and challenges, promoting peace and respect in the world, encouraging people to see that different points of view and different perspectives can and must be a source of strength and not a source of weakness, and an opportunity also to celebrate the extraordinary contributions that the Ahmadiyya community has made across Canada, both in building strong communities and demonstrating the openness and the welcoming nature, including the Syrian refugees, that is so dear to us in Canada and to your community. It's a wonderful partnership that we can highlight and an example, I think, to the world. So it's a pleasure to meet with you to discuss all this.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your kind gesture for receiving me here. And I also thank you for quite a number of Ahmadi Syrian refugees who have come here, apart from those who came from Pakistan after, the incident of 2010, where almost 100 of Ahmadis were killed duplicate in the mosque, 2 mosques. So I also thank you, the government, especially you, standing help for applauding them and shaping.
As part of this historic visit, which coincides with the 50th anniversary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Canada, Hazrat Amirul Momineen delivered a keynote address at a reception in his honor at Parliament Hill. This event was attended by members of Parliament, ministers, senators, ambassadors, and many other dignitaries.
दुनिया बगोश होश सुने तेरी बात को.
It was also broadcast live on MTA International and streamed online. In his address, Huzur spoke to the audience about the condition of the world and how it is on the brink of a catastrophe.
It is the task of the government and the parliamentarians as guardians of their nations to legislate in a way that gives rights to their citizens rather than take their rights away.
Later, Huzur was presented with a copy of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms signed by the Prime Minister, by the Honourable Judy Sugrue, Member of Parliament for the Humber River Black Creek area, and also Chair of the Ahmadiyya Friendship Association. A special day for everyone involved. Ministers and government officials posted pictures of their meeting Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, on social media. In fact, the excitement of being in the presence of Hazrat Amirul Momineen was seen on Twitter, and Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmed, may Allah be his helper, trending on the social media site.
This splendid community that we have in front of us is a fine example of what religion can do to human beings. And it brings the best out of us.
What I'm hearing from His Holiness is this message of peace and bringing people together in the respect of our religious belief, our freedom of expression, and in embracing those diversity all around the world. And I'm happy that he's going there to share those messages to all of us.
And I know in my own community we have an Ahmadiyya mosque who regularly has interfaith community meals so that leaders from multi-faiths and leaders from the community and from the nonprofit sector get together and have a meal and learn from each other and really get to know each other, and it has transformed our community.
Well, I think it's the overall optimism he has towards the goal of a better world, towards peace, despite, as I said, a very sober assessment of the state of the world today and the increasing intensity of violence and warfare. His ultimate message, I think, was one that was very encouraging.
I think it's frankly, the only sane message that's out there at all. When you talk about the simple 6 words, love for all, hatred for none. And if we could get other countries and other organizations and other religions to adopt those same 6 words, right, and start looking at each other and thinking of those 6 words rather than thinking negative that they tend to, I think it could do an enormous good in the world.
The community is my family, as most recently with you on Thanksgiving. To have time with His Holiness was humbling, overwhelming, and I got to hear his speech, and then we talked afterwards, and he taught me so many lessons, and the one particularly I take to heart, once a friend, always a friend.
On Tuesday, October 18th, Hazrat Amirul Momineen met with a reporter from press. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih's stay in Ottawa had come to a conclusion. After leading the Zohar and Asr prayers, Huzur led a silent prayer before departing for Peace Village.